Okay, hello everyone. This is TTA's 6th webinar. Today our topic is sustainable energy and its application in Thailand. So I'll start the webinar with TTA presentation. I think you can see it, right?
Yes, we can see.
So Turkish Thai Association is located in Bangkok, Thailand. Starting from 2018 over LinkedIn and has grown till now with different logos. So the main purpose to start was to get together for business and career opportunities. And now it has grown to international and regional offices also. It has different members, such as Mr. Vichin Harm Praveen and his law firm Visan & Co. Limited as the lawyer of the association as well. There were several social and business events carried out by TTA over the years, such as the fair, webinars, and etc. The main principal objectives are to promote economic and cultural relations between Republic of Turkey and Kingdom of Thailand, to organize social activities, to publish Turkish, disseminate Turkish and Thai culture, to give advice and guidance to Turkish people living in Thailand, and others. Currently, there are 5 representatives in 5 countries: Japan, Australia, Hong Kong, Myanmar, Singapore, and Myanmar office recently moved to Thailand also. Okay. Thank you. So I'll hand over to Mr. Ibrahim as the main speaker from Sodexo Thailand. Hi, Mr. Ibrahim.
Hi, thank you very much. Shall we introduce ourselves first, or we will do one by one? I mean, who's the speakers?
I think it will be a group talk, right? Maybe you can introduce yourself now, and then so that there's no interference.
All right, okay, then my name is Ibrahim Kocagoz. I'm Technical Director of Sodexo Thailand. I'm responsible for sustainability, smart cities, and innovation within the company. My expertise is, my background is electronics and engineering and automation. Today, I will try to present and answer some question marks about the smart cities and sustainability and definitely renewable energy. So I have a presentation prepared for this valuable event for today. Hopefully everybody can see.
Yep.
Yes.
Again, good evening from the rainy Bangkok night. So the main question is usually, I mean, why we call it smart? Is it really smart? Why they call it everything as smart now? I mean, and also people are questioning what does it mean integration of these systems? Why smart? How smart are the things? And definitely today I will give quick examples from some use cases from different countries, and I will try to explain about the benefits of the smart services, talk about challenges. This is the first part of the presentation. Definitely you can take your notes and try to answer them, try to ask them at the end of the presentation, and then we will have a speech, talk with our valuable for interns. So what is integration? Yes, this is the main question that people are asking. Basically, it is the communication of different systems. I will explain more, but this is the definition, or centralization of the systems and bringing different systems together. So miscommunication is one of the biggest problem. It's in our life also is big problem. You know, I mean, between each other, between two person, between the peoples, and also they say it can be a problem between the systems. If a couple of systems cannot communicate to each other, it may bring some problems for the overall management. This is one of the nice pictures that I love from a village in Austria. You can see such a kind of small village. Definitely, you don't need to have complicated systems like control systems, security, traffic systems, because of the amount of the population and the amount of the traffic. Definitely, such a kind of small village is safe. However, when the cities are growing, towns are getting bigger, like this one. This is a photo from Feldkirch, again from Austria. So definitely you can see there is a public transportation, train systems, and buses, of course. And now citizens are expecting them to be connected to each other. Well, and this is from Istanbul. Most of you know probably how it's big, how it is populated, such a small city with a high population. So you saw the village and town, and then big city, mega cities like that. If you don't have such kind of control systems, you can imagine maybe what can be happen, or you can imagine that if you don't control the water sources, electricity sources, if you don't manage the traffic, if you don't put security systems, what can be happen in such a kind of city, right? I mean, now we are questioning. Maybe sometimes we don't question, we don't think about it, because especially when we are living in the big cities, we lost ourselves. We are in the part of this big busy life, and we are never questioning, and we are usually complaining. We are saying, oh, too much control, too much monitoring. Basically, I mean, 90% of the reason to control the things is in order to avoid the chaos. So you can see this nice graphic for Istanbul in around 15 years. How the population is increased. Well, actually it's more. It's from 1952 till almost today, the graphic shows. But in around like 15, 20 years, the population increased triple. It's such a kind of small city. Was the infrastructure ready? No, definitely not. There wasn't a good planning of the city. So it became a brownfield city. Brownfield means it's already a place. So it's not a new. We call the new cities greenfield, new projects. But the old projects, I mean, not project actually, old cities, we call it brownfield. So it's a brownfield. So what we can do, because since the city is not planned, since the infrastructure is not planned, you need to put control systems in order to manage the current resources. This is from Broadway, from New York. You can see also there's a high population, and you can see there are traffic systems, there are communication systems, there are many directions. In case there's a panic, if there is no good management, good monitoring, you can imagine what can be happen. Chaos, definitely. This is from Bangladesh. It's not only Bangladesh. There are many countries. It can be an example like that. Actually, when I was taking this photo, I'm from the internet long time ago. I was thinking there is no traffic signals, but if you look correctly, there is traffic signals over there. However, most probably people or drivers, they don't care. So it became a chaos, of course. So this is what I'm trying to say. Imagine in a big mega city, we don't control the water sources. Everybody wants to use however they want. And everybody wants to arrive to their destination earlier. So, you know, human thinks usually himself in a priority. So definitely there will be a big issue about the management of the resources. So then smart city, I mean, actually the automation of the systems has already been started long time ago. But in late 90s, or well, we can say around 2010, people started calling the cities, I mean, the new cities, smart cities. Of course, it was a new definition. It started with the smart home also. Actually, the mother of the, I mean, founder of this wording is, all of you know, from the mobile phone company Apple. They started calling their phone smartphone, and it became more popular smart word. Now everybody's using smart food, smart human, smart citizen, smart home. But you buy a apartment and uh, they are selling to you the smart apartment. But actually there is a couple of switch that you can control the light. There is no other benefit, but he is calling. Yeah, so there is a levels, of course. I mean, according to the owner, it's a smart, but according to the buyer, maybe it's not smart enough. So is it really smart? So this is the question that I will try to answer today very quickly, because this presentation about smart city is normally very long, but I will try to keep it short, and I will try to jump to the renewable energy part. This is more important, according to me. So I want to just give very technical good information. What does it mean, communication of the systems? This is a tunnel. It's important actually. It's very simple. I will try to explain. In the tunnels, there are fire alarm systems, lighting system. As everybody knows, when we drive, you can see, and there are dynamic message signs. There are signs that you can see something is written information. So in case there is a fire or smoke happened within the tunnel, this will be detected by a fire detection system, and it will go to the fire alarm, and it's another system, and fire alarm system will send the information to the signs. So it will be say, oh, stop, don't drive there, and also same information will be sent to the ventilation system. So the fans will be started. So it will avoid any health problem or risk in order to, on the human. So what can be happen? How it can be happen? There might be a traffic accident, and then there is a fire starts, and then also now there are systems, camera systems. It detects the accidents. So I just told you about a couple of systems like dynamic message signs, ventilation system. So as I explained to you, all these systems are communicating to each other through automation, through building management system or PLCs. There are different types of communication automation systems are available within the industry. If these systems doesn't communicate to each other, when you drive, you will not know there is a smoke, there is an accident. So you don't reduce your speed, and it will increase the number of the accidents and deaths also, of course. That's why it's very important communication of the different systems to each other. It enhances our quality of life, and also it's reduce the risk of the problem in our life. This is what I can explain very quickly. This is one example from a city where I lived before, from Qatar. My colleagues also, friends also very well, they know here. This is a tunnel. Before the tunnel, it's a simple tunnel is open, so you don't need to drive to the tunnel. It avoids the risk. Also, it brings you time saving, so you don't need to drive there, and you can gain from the time. So there are many benefits for definitely. So next slide is about smart home. Is it really smart, or how smart? Uh, and then before the actually home, I mean, I can give you about the lighting also. This is also a good example. Now they call smart lighting systems, smart street lights. So there are levels again. I mean, there are. So according to me, as an engineer, which street lights are smart really is if there's an automation. If there is no, you can see this is a bright road, but there is no vehicle, there is no car. So all these lights shouldn't be kept open. At least should be reduced when there is no cars. So simply I can say in order everybody to understand. So definitely we need an automation, and LEDs should be implemented within the lighting system. So then we can call it really smart and fully automated. Irrigation system is another good example. You can see, especially in Thailand, also many other countries, the irrigation systems, they are working with a timer. Even there is a rain, after the rain, you can see, oh, the irrigation system starts. In many countries, water is cheap. That's why they really don't care. But however, clean water resources are very limited, friends. So we need to be really careful when we are consuming. So what is a smart irrigation system? How it has to be? So in case there is a rain, or even there is the rain didn't start it, if there is a potential for the rainy day, the irrigation system shouldn't run. So how it is possible? There are sensors. You can connect your irrigation system to the weather stations. So in the weather station, there are signals. I mean, information is generated for the potential rain. It will say there will be a rain in the afternoon. So irrigation system shouldn't start, definitely. And in worst cases, if there's a rain, after the rain, it shouldn't again run the irrigation system. So how it's possible? Yeah, the sound came from the irrigation system, I think. So, and there is a moisture sensor. It can be implemented within the soil. If the soil is still humid, no need to run. Then we can really call the irrigation system smart. And then this is a photo from an example of a smart home. Smart home, when, especially, I mean, most of us, we have got some experience about the hotel rooms. They are trying to make a smart room. And then when you enter, there is a remote control, but it's very complicated. You don't know. I mean, but remote is everything in the room. You cannot open the curtains. You cannot turn on the TV. I mean, first of all, the house or the rooms or the apartment has to be user friendly. It shouldn't make the people's life complicated. And then, for example, you left your apartment, you went to the work, but you forgot something else, or you are not sure if you forgot the lights are open. If you are able to remotely monitor, control your apartment, then it is really smart, I can tell. I mean, this should be expectations. Your control, monitoring should reduce the power consumption, energy consumption within your apartment or house. Plus, you should monitor the security and safety of your house or your apartment remotely. These are the benefits. These are the availability now in the technology and in industry. Then really you can call it smart apartment. This is an example from San Francisco. They call it, because I put this presentation, now many people are asking, what does it mean? Net zero building, net zero house. So it is one of the largest net zero building from the San Francisco. It was an example. So what does it mean? You produce your electricity, you produce your water source, you produce all your energy, water, electricity within your building, and you consume it within your building. And there is no waste. So it's a fully circulated building, but it's not enough. So how it can be happen? Many people are questioning how it's possible. You can put solar panel and you can generate your power. Plus, you can depends if it's a windy place, you can put maybe small wind turbines also, and you can put rain collectors. You can put rainwater storage. Plus, you can put waste water treatment within your building. So definitely you can reduce the consumption of the electricity from the grid. You can use whatever you produce within your building through your renewable energy resources. But it's not enough to call it net zero building. At the same time, the materials, most of the civil engineers, they know it also very well. The materials, when you are constructing your building, the type of the materials, sustainability of these materials, the products are very important also. And lifetime of these products. I mean, there are many criteria now. to call the building or the house net zero. Very quickly, I'm trying to pass. There are some use cases, different examples from the world, which they call it themselves smart, like Amata Smart Industrial State from Thailand, Lusail Smart City from Qatar, Barcelona, Songdo, New York. There are many other examples from worldwide. They call themselves smart cities. I'm just showing some couple of pictures. These are the things actually which we are already doing in Thailand, but I don't want to get people to get bored, but only for security I can talk very quickly. Now with smart cameras, we don't need to monitor 24/7 the cameras. In case there is an intrusion, you can see our cameras are detecting and it gives an alarm. And then our operators looking to the camera or they are looking to the records. So we can see the list of alarms at the end of the day. So this is, we call it smart security. I will not talk about these ones. I will quickly passing to the end of the slides. So this is another use case from Barcelona, Masdar City in UAE, Smart Singapore. And of course, there are benefits of the integration and smart services. It's reducing the carbon monoxide emission as per the Kyoto Protocol, reducing the operation and maintenance costs, we call it O&M, enhancing people's lifestyle, reducing using the country's and world's electricity and water resources. There are many benefits of smart services. The problems and challenges, what are the challenges? No one wants to share. So what does it mean? There are different authorities in the cities, like Road Authority, or Minister of Interior, or Police, Army. Everybody wants to put their own camera. And they say, oh, it's confidential. I don't want to share my camera. I don't want to share my command center. And then this is also wrong. And convince all these authorities to bring into the one command center is one of the biggest challenge, but it's a must because we are talking about centralization, integration. So of course, many control rooms, many different cameras is not acceptable, definitely. But this is very big problem. This is one of the main challenge to bring these authorities to one common platform. And budget is one of the challenge. Everybody wants to implement smart city, but at the end they are saying, oh, we don't have money. Of course, nothing is free. And you need to calculate the budget. But you don't need to have the money also. You can create correct business model, business case. But in order to do this one, you need to have a clear strategy. You need to know, you need to have your SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, trade. But what does it mean? What is the strength? I mean, you need to know what is the strongest points of your strategy and what is the weakness of these business models, business plans. You need to really think all pros and cons of these advantages of your strategy. Especially the projects are struggling because they don't have strong technical teams, right expert and consultants. So they are doing many mistakes when they are creating business models. Yeah, as I mentioned, no clear business model. This is one of the biggest problem. You don't need to have a big budget to do the implementation of the smart city, but if you have a correct business model, if you can bring the investors, there are many implementations can be done through the investors as well. And cybersecurity is one of the big challenge, definitely. Everybody's scaring from the cybersecurity. So what is the next to successful on the smart city vision? You need to have a clear strategy, correct strategy, right business models. All stakeholders have to agree on the strategy and business model. You need to have a budget, right budget, experienced consultants, good planning, full integration, and definitely you need to protect your city from the cyber attack and cyber security. Now, renewable energy, finally. Now, in Thailand, I'm here, it's my third year in Thailand. I was in Middle East for 10 years and in Russia, around Russia for around almost 5 years. So, of course, I mean, by my all this experience, I have a big experience and know-how about renewable energy also now. It's part of the smart cities. You cannot split smart city from the renewable energy sustainability, definitely. So people are asking now, what are the questions? Which is the most sustainable and efficient? I mean, which renewable energy? Is it solar? Is it wind? Is it hydropower, geothermal, biomass? And then second question, now people started questioning definitely because no, in the market, I mean, there are many players. They are starting to blame each other also, and then they are questioning: is it really solar energy? Is it really renewable or not renewable? And then the third question that we are trying to answer today: why in many countries such as Thailand, the solar energy implementation started late and progress is very slow? Well, this is one of the opinion. The other opinion can say, oh no, it's not slow, it's not started late. Let's see, is it what is right? Today, I have 4 interns in Sodexo. Today they are also joining to the webinar, and they will be part of the talking and part of the speech today. They will introduce themselves and they will tell you what is their experience about the internship that they are doing within Sodexo Thailand about sustainability and solar energy. Our interns are working for the business development and marketing activities for the solar energy in Thailand. So there are different sources, as you see. Which one is the best renewable energy? It's wind, as I mentioned, solar or hydropower. Actually, answer is simple. It depends. If you are planning to implement in the Middle East wind turbine, it doesn't really make sense, or hydropower plant. Definitely for countries like Middle East or Africa, one of the best sustainable renewable energy is definitely solar. It's or if you go to the north or cloudy, windy places where there is and full of forest, definitely it doesn't make sense to cut millions of the trees and build solar farms, because I see in many countries, unfortunately, even I mean when I see on the news, I'm getting really upset. They are cutting the forest to just build solar farms because, you know, I mean, people unfortunately they think very small sometimes, and they want to get rich from a shortcut way, and they cannot think the big benefits of the forest trees, and they say, okay, there is no benefit. Even I cut the tree, sell the wood, I cannot make money. And then what they are doing, they are cutting all the trees and they are building solar farms, and they are started selling the electricity. Of course, there are commercial benefit. However, it's not definitely sustainable. It's not the right way to do renewable energy. So we need to look at the conditions where we can implement which type of energy. It can be geothermal also. So it depends. The questions again answer simple. If it is a country with no forest, without trees, full of sun, definitely the best energy source, renewable energy source is solar energy. But if it's a northern country full of with the trees, less sun and more wind, and definitely wind turbine, it can be applicable for the other energy sources also, geothermal or hydropower. And also, you need to think twice from where you are bringing all these products, like the turbine. Are they produced within your country? All these are the items may affect your sustainability. Okay, so solar energy, is it renewable? Well, we know renewable because we are hearing from the industry, from the experts. But now, as I mentioned, people started questioning. But You don't need to be really academician to answer these questions. Most of us, we know the life duration of the lifetime of the PV panels are around 25 years. So we can calculate, you can check how much electricity is consumed for the production of a PV panel. And you can write it down, and you know how much power you can generate from this PV panel for during its lifetime. What we said, 25 years. During the 25 years, of course, it depends. I mean, where you put the PV panel. If you put it into the north of Sweden, it's different. If you put to the Middle East, it's different, definitely. But you can have an average. So you can calculate for 25 years how much power you can consume from this PV panel. And then you can check how much power electricity is consumed in order to manufacture this panel. Then you can see it will be black and white. I'm not telling the answer. You can do it by yourself. You can Google. Then you can know how much electricity is consumed to produce a PV panel. And of course, what happens after 25 years to the PV panel? Because lifetime will be finished, and where you will throw, where you will kept, what's the impact on the nature? All these things we need to think, definitely, ladies and gentlemen. These are the technical data. Actually, these data are definitely from the Thailand, because the cost is calculated from the Thailand. In order to produce 1 kilowatt electricity energy, you need 5 to 6 square meter, like a small room, size of a PV panel. What does it mean, 1 kilowatt? 1 kilowatt is consumption of one AC unit. So in order to run your AC unit during the day, of course, during the night you cannot generate solar power. During the day, you need 5 to 6 square meter area of PV panel on your roof that it can run your AC unit. And then what's the cost of this 5 to 6 square meter PV panel is around 25,000 baht. What does it mean? It's almost $800. So you need to invest $800 for your PV panel in Thailand to produce 1 kilowatt energy daily to run your AC unit. This is a simple example. Now there are investors in Thailand. They come, they install on your factory or shopping mall, hotel, and then they can give you a discount, almost 50% discount from the unit rate what you are paying to the government or authorities, which is selling power in Thailand. So it's a good saving if you don't want to invest, or if you want to invest by yourself. In Thailand, you can recover your investment within 5 to 6 years. It's not bad also. It's very good in my opinion. It's worst case. It can be possible. It depends on the size of the investment what you do. It can be even maximum 4 years. You can recover your investment, which is very good. So we definitely promote solar energy in Thailand. What was the concern? When I came to Thailand 3 years ago, I couldn't see much solar energy implementation. And I was asking, why? I mean, why there is not much solar energy implementations, especially roof of the factories are empty. And the answer as I was getting from different people, sun is not strong. And I was looking to the sky. I mean, usually there's a strong sun. And as everybody knows, Germany, a very good example for the renewable energy. Almost 50% of their power is produced from the renewable energy at the moment, which is amazing. And they are heavily using also solar energy. And sun cannot be stronger than Thailand, definitely, right? So it was not the right answer, but they were telling this as a reason. And then second reason was saying, okay, government doesn't allow. No, government allows you in Thailand to produce your electricity if you're using within your premises. There is no problem. If you produce electricity within your roof or factory, and if you are using within the factory, there is no problem. But you cannot sell to the grid. This is not allowed. But there are farms that investors, they are building solar farms. They have a certain agreement with the governmental authorities. They do it, but not like West Europe. In West Europe, you know, I mean, even the small apartments, small houses, they generate power and they sell it to the grid, which is amazing. It has to be done also in Asia Pacific, in my opinion. And cost, people are saying, oh, its cost is very expensive. As I mentioned just in my previous slide, within 4 to 5 years, you can recover your investment. So definitely it's not costly. All these concerns are not right. I found it. But now, after 3 years, I can see big improvement on the solar energy implementation within Thailand. It's moving forward. But what needs to be done? Regulations shall be changed in order to promote more renewable energy within the, not only Thailand, it's around countries also like Vietnam, Cambodia, other countries as well. Governments has to promote it. They have to regulate it definitely, and motivate people to generate more renewable energy, use renewable energy also. And the company is planning to use the renewable energy source shall get correct consultancy. They shouldn't believe what they hear from the different people. They need to put the data in front of them, and they need to decide by themselves. If they are not able to do it, they need to get a correct consultancy from the professional companies. Automation, building management system, building automation system shall be implemented. And more important thing, people has to be educated, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big message I need to give today. If we don't able to reduce consumption of power, both to electricity, population of the human is growing, is around 7 billion. Now, since we are growing, as the population is growing, if we don't reduce our consumption, if we are not careful, if you are going to a hotel, keep the AC on and keep the lights on since you are not paying, then we will never stop this problem. We need to generate more power, and which will not be enough. So the critical thing, education. Educate the people. This is the first thing that we need to start. Education has to start from the family. We have to educate our sisters, brothers, mother, father, kids. Tell them to reduce the electricity and water. This is very important. Even it is cheap, even it is free. So then we will start using also renewable energy to keep our environment, our earth clean. This is very important, ladies and gentlemen. I think before getting the questions, Barış Bey, I want to leave it to you because now...
I think, yes, I agree. That's the plan also. Before going to the questions, I want to give the speech to other 4 speakers from Sodexo Thailand. And I would like to start with Chair. Can you stop sharing your screen, Ibrahim? You are muted.
All right.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Because I think what I have observed so far also, to hear about this really global issues like sustainability and global warming, and so from younger generations also is very important. So our other 4 speakers are can really give very interesting insights, I believe. I mean, so Chair.
Yes.
Hi. Can
Hi.
can you please introduce yourself, and maybe you can talk about your contributions and your view on sustainability, sustainable energy, and within Sodexo Thailand and in Thailand also in general.
Okay. Hi. Hello, my name is Surasawadi Ratana. You can call me Shers. I graduated from Assumption University in Thailand with a Bachelor of Business Administration, concentrating on industrial management and logistics. And now I am interning with Sodexo Thailand for 1 month already. So the reason why I choose to intern with the renewable energy industry is because right now people or factory are increasing support for renewable energy, and it also support my major study as an industrial management. Right now, more businesses, utility companies, and homeowners are investing in solar, as we can see on top of the factory roof or some house roof. So each day there are a lot of new technologies which is being developed to create more efficient and affordable solar panels, inverter, and also the racking system. So I am quite interested on it. That's why I choose to intern with Sodexo. For the advantage of being an intern here, I have met many wonderful people in Sodexo Thailand and also in marketing and business development team. They are so good at training us in process. Like we share the information, we get together, and we can see how many factories there are in Thailand that can use renewable energy like solar energy. And also Mr. Ibrahim also take us to learn from the site visits about the real solar panels and also how it works. So I think I can learn a lot from the process that we work for. That's why I think we can use those kind of things to grow the renewable energy industry in Thailand.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I'll pass to Gift. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Gift. Can you introduce yourself also, and maybe you can mention about your opinion on sustainable energy, and in particular its future in Thailand.
Okay. Hello, my name is Navasalan. You can call me Gift. I'm Bachelor of Business and Technology Administration in International Business Management at Stanford International University. And now I'm intern for a month at Sodexo Thailand in business development about solar energy. Honestly, I have no much experience about solar energy. However, I received an opportunity for Mr. Ibrahim to intern here, and I got opportunity to went to site visits at Samut Prakan for watching solar panel and learn basic operation system of solar energy. It was exciting and fun that I went there with my team because I was the new knowledge I have learned, and I met the wonderful people in my team. Um, in my opinion, solar energy really useful for Thailand. As you know, Thailand is in a tropical area that's very hot and strong sunlight for the whole year. That's the reason why solar energy very useful in Thailand for me. And moreover, I intend to intern here to learn for increasing experience to be benefit for my future career. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll pass to Jump.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's my pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Tim Pagan. You can call me Jump. I graduated from Assumption University, majoring in industrial management and logistics. And it has been a month since I started my internship with Sodexo under business development team working on solar energy. Before I start my internship with Sodexo, I would say I didn't know much about the solar energy or renewable energy, but I have always been passionate about the sustainability, which I believe is what we need to do to have the better future for all of us. And after a month of training with Mr. Ibrahim, I have acknowledged about the importance of sustainability and the solar energy. Moreover, I got an opportunity to have the site visit, and I was able to see the basic operation of solar energy, how solar panel operate and how it's installed and maintained. So as solar energy is important for generating electricity, it's very nice to see that the Thailand is the tropical country that has a great solar power potential, and we can utilize the natural resources that are available everywhere. And I realized that besides the environmental benefits, many business sector can benefit from using the solar energy. They can maintain their cost and improve their corporate social responsibility. It's interesting that it's not only protect the environment, but also for future generation. So I think it would be nice for me in the future if I can work in the career path of sustainability or renewable energy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Vika?
Okay, hello everybody. Good evening. My name is Advika Yugal. You can call me Vika for short. I'm currently doing my major in management with a minor in international relations at Webster University. I'm in my final year, and my take on sustainability would be that my generation, more specifically, we've been born into a world full of technology. I've seen the iPhone go from iPhone 3 to iPhone 12. So I've seen how technology developed. And I mean, another example for you guys would be UAE or Dubai. It went from like a blank ground to one of the most developed countries now. But alongside the amazing developments in technology, we could see the depleting resources. The news on the news now itself, like you could see the sea levels rising, Antarctica is melting, the temperatures rising. We can see the disadvantages of actually developing such technology. And I mean, us humans are not going to stop at what we're doing. So instead, we could do something more sustainably. So I feel solar energy is, say, it's the least riskiest, one of the best way of actually doing energy very well. And especially in Thailand, you guys know the heat, it's horrible here, but then it's good for the environment. I mean, if you use solar energy. So my take on it would be that, I think as a generation, overall, with improving our technology, we should be finding sustainable ways of doing so, because if not, in the future, we all will be at a disadvantage because we won't have any fuel or anything remaining. And I joined Sodexo. I did know about solar energy. I usually try to be very sustainable. However, I did not know enough about it. I joined with Mr. Ibrahim. I've been working here for a month and a half-ish, and I learned a lot. I mean, I got to know how solar panels actually work. I got to see it, as my colleague said. So I got to meet amazing people. I got to work on many projects, and overall, I got experience in this, and I got to see how things actually work. I mean, from an outsider view, you just see, oh, there's a solar panel over there. But then from working over here, interning over here, I got to see, oh, this is how things are done. So, and I'm happy to be working here because I get to do something good for the world. So that's my take on it, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. We have some questions from the audience, and I'll direct it to Mr. Ibrahim, but I really want to encourage other speakers to interfere and join into the discussion. We have around 4 or 5 questions, so 2-minute answers for each question would work fine for the timing of the webinar also. The first question is, what kind of actions can be taken to convert a brown field into a green one? Or is this possible indeed?
It is, well, it's 2 different definitions, actually. Yes, I mean, it's a good question. First time I heard such a kind of question, brown to the green. In the industry, we don't call it like brown convert to the green, but it's a new approach. Why not? It can be, because We call it brown because it's difficult to implement. Is already infrastructure is there and complicated to implement new things. Greenfield, we call it new city. Nothing is built, so it can be designed and planned correctly. But the brownfield, yes, it can. It's a new term. By this question, thanks a lot. Who's asking this question? First time I received this question. It's a very good question. Yes,
Yeah.
it's possible. We can by implementing right tools like control systems, energy sources, and controlled energy sources. Yes, you can convert a brownfield city to a greenfield. That's right.
Thank you. Our second question is, how accessible are such smart systems to community? Is the capital requirement too high that some developing countries cannot simply invest on, or is the technology becoming cost-effective?
Technology is definitely cost effective, and now all these smart technologies, I can tell you a very good example very quickly. I bought 2 cameras that I can monitor and control them. I can change the direction from my mobile phone. I paid, I can tell you, for each of them $140 2 years ago. Now you can buy it for $50 and with better skills, much better skills. Same for the face recognition cameras, ladies and gentlemen. It was astronomical prices. Now it's quite cheap. Everybody can buy. You can buy it for your home. And now you can ask me how much does it, right? I mean, you can put a small tablet. It can take your face recognition, and then if it is says, okay, you are the one who's registered, it can open your door, and it can warn you about your mask. Now the cost of these things are $1,000. Before it was $10,000 before last year. But because of the COVID, now all these technologies are quite popular, and manufacturing is more companies, more competition. Of course, it's much cheaper now, and people can access to most of the technologies or smart items now easily. But you need to check from the market a right tool, and from Google you can search. I mean, you don't need to go to the shops now. You can buy from everywhere. You can buy from Turkey, from Germany, from China, but make sure that they can deliver to you. Everything is accessible now.
Thank you. Our next question is, how is security and privacy ensured in centralized systems? In the command control centers, the data is collected, and you mentioned none of the authorities want to share the data. But then how is the security and privacy ensured in that?
This webinar is more difficult than I thought. I thought it will be peanuts.
I think that's a very
good questions.
One of our audience.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, who's asking? They know what they are doing. Audience, yeah, strong audience today. And yeah,
I think it has also that human-centric approach. I mean, so one of the main thing is in such digital cities, the consent of the public is important, which they consent what kind of data they want to share, and within the legal frame of work of data. So maybe you can elaborate on that.
Correct. Now, actually, people started questioning, right? I mean, especially after the pandemic. Now, first for the data. I mean, Google or all these big cloud companies, they kept the data in the data centers. They've got it. There are many companies now, private companies or governments also. They secure data, and people are saying, "Why you collect my data? What you will do with my data?" And first of all, I want to talk about the security of the data. Of course, there is a protection for the cyber attacks, but cyber attacks are also strong. You cannot 100% guarantee, never. This is for the protection of the data within the, software, but also the places where you secure the data, the power sources are important. For example, data centers, usually they don't depending on a single power sources, because if the power is down, and you may lose all the data. So usually there are 2 triple power sources that feeds the data centers, and data centers are very well secured, but you cannot go and you cannot steal the data like that. Of course, it's not possible. but by cyber attacks or by shutting down the power or such kind of things, you can format, you can clean the data. The second thing about the second part of the question about the confidentiality is now a very big concern. What they will do with my data? Well, I can tell you honestly. This was one of my conversation with one of the ambassadors in Thailand. She told me, I mean, if you have any concern about your, well, I don't have any concern because I see as much as info I share, the life is more easier for myself. I mean, because I'm the smart city expert. But we shouldn't force the people who doesn't want to share the data also, their data. If they think it's confidential, let them keep it confidential. And I want to tell also to the people about the CCTV cameras everywhere. Don't worry, they don't monitor your personal life. All these cameras are really almost 99% they are trying to secure their life. I visited many command center. We are building command center. We never think that, oh, I want to monitor Mr. Michael is coming, going. No, I mean, we are trying to really monitor the safety, try to improve the safety and security within the premises. Yeah. And all the command centers, control centers, police, army, they are thinking the same way. Of course, they are looking from the overlook. The first priority, they are trying to secure the safety and security of the community.
Okay, thank you. Our other questions asking about the cost-saving solar energy systems, but so approximately what percentage cost-saving would solar energy systems will provide? I mean, so can you
This
have
one might answer with by Vika, Chair, or Jump or Gift. They can let them try to answer. Let them answer. Actually, we can get it from there, and then I can tell also my opinion.
Okay, well, as of right now, if you, from my knowledge, from what I've learned, if you go with an investor, with a company that invests for you, you'd be saving around 50 to 50% than what you'd be paying with normal electricity, like what the government supplies to you. So that's a huge saving. And furthermore, solar panels, I think it's a long-term investment. So in the long term, you are making a save. So if you go with that, if you go with an investor, you save 15 to 50%. However, if you do monitor it by yourself, like you buy the solar panels and you do everything, your ROI will be within 4 to 6 years. So after 4 to 6 years, you'll be making a profit basically. So your return on investment is pretty easy when it comes to solar energy.
Thank you very much. Maybe we have one final question, and one of you can answer. I'll summarize the competencies needed for the expert to carry out this business model, which Mr. Ibrahim mentioned in his presentation. So the profile of such an expert or competencies needed to be in the sustainable energy business.
Barış Bey, I didn't understand the question really. What's the main?
So for a person, I please outline the profile of such an expert or a competent person to engage in such business models.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, there are. I mean, if I'm not misunderstanding, they are asking who can prepare this such a kind of business model, right? Am I right?
Well, my
okay, anyway, I can tell you now. Usually, the business models, business cases for the companies has been prepared by the business experts. I mean, not engineers, but if they have an engineering background, is good plus, but not necessary. But mainly for the people who has a good business background, they prepare. Because business models are different. I mean, what I was saying, you don't need to, for example, you are building a compound or city, you don't have a big budget to put smart lighting because it's a bit costly. But what you can do, you can bring investor, you can tell the investor, build street lights. I don't want to pay, I don't have money, but I'm giving you right to sell other your products also in my city, and I will help you to promote. And I will not help others to promote. but you will not stop the others also. This is also very important. You shouldn't do monopoly, but promoting, supporting one product is good. You can say, I'm promoting, support you, and you are welcome. So this is one model, for example. So these kind of models, of course, has to be prepared by the experts. I mean, who has got big background about the business cases, business models.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think that was the last question. So we have finished answering to questions. Yeah.
Yes, I want to add one more thing
Yes,
about
please.
our interns. I'm really proud of them. Chair, Jam, Gift, Vika. They are our super team. As you mentioned, they are interns, but they are very professional, very good, smart. They don't like to say no. I mean, it's amazing. I'm in this field. I'm now 44 years old. Since 20 years old, I'm working. I don't see such a kind of amazing team. I mean, very dynamic, very good things that we are doing. I really impressed. And in front of everyone else, I want to thank you to them again one more time. It's a pleasure for me, and I feel lucky myself to work with this super team.
Okay. Thank you very much for the compliments. So our 1 hour has finished also, and I really would like to thank you and all the other speakers, also 5 of you, for your great input on this today's topic on sustainable energy and sustainable energy in Thailand. And this is a very important topic in our business webinars also, actually. Without further ado, I will end the webinar if you don't have any other comments.
I just saw one small question. Are they open to job offers? They are open, of course, I believe, but we will not leave them easily. We lost already chair. She is starting for her new business. We are upset, but at the same time happy, but not easy. We will not let them go easily. They are open, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I think
that means we will fight, Başkan. we will fight for them. It's okay. It's okay for me.
Yes. I
Okay.
knew. Okay.
By the way, I have been working for Ibrahim, and I mean, I'm really serious. If you are open for any job offers, we could have a small talk after the webinar. We need such kind of talents in our team.
Maybe you should share your email address. I mean, so anyone interested in the audience can find you. I mean,
okay,
not only.
I will do. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd like to thank everyone. I think we'll wait for the email address on the message section. But I'm not sure. Okay, maybe it can be shared on the WhatsApp group. Thank you, everyone. And the email address is here. I mean, so any audience can take note of that. Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming as the speakers. It was a great pleasure to moderate you. Thank you.